Good morning, everyone. This is John down here at Lake of the Ozarks. We're in Camdenton, Missouri at the moment, and I'm considering going out to HaHa Tonka State Park. Let you folks see that and enjoy that footage and stuff there. So thank you for coming along with me today, and if you like the content, please hit that like button and subscribe if you would. It definitely helps my channel. So we're riding the old 2021 Harley-Davidson Pan America today, and we're videoing with the DJI Action Pro 5, and I'm using mic minis for my audio. As some of you know, in the past, my audio has been kind of horrible, really, and I think since using this particular gear, it has helped. Now, I did remove a lot of my content from my Arizona trip. I gotta say, I just deleted it off of my YouTube page and just chose to not use it. So we got about 4 miles down, 3.5, 4 miles down this road here. And this is 54 highway, as most of you might know. Some of you don't. We're headed south out of Camdenton. And like I said, I want to go out to the HaHa Tonka State Park to show you guys the old castle ruins, kind of ride around there a little bit. Maybe fly the drone a little bit there if I can. I've got a DJI Neo that I want to kind of incorporate into the video. Now, as most of you know, my editing footages isn't really the best. I do all my editing from my telephone. I don't have a computer, so this is all how I do it. I hope you enjoy this footage. I really do. Kind of a beautiful morning so far. It's 52 degrees. It's, you know, it's cool, but I'm wearing the Harley-Davidson windbreaker rain jacket. So with it being a rain jacket, I'm not going to really feel the coldness. And I definitely got my gloves on. I turned the heated grips on just for fun. And I'm also using the Garmin Zumo XT from the navigation today. That's been a benefit in many of my rides. I know my wife and I went out the other day and we come across some roads that we had never been down, and they were gravel. Didn't know if they had dead ends or what, but zooming in and out on that thing kind of helped make a difference to finding where we needed to go to get out if we needed to. Of course, we wasn't in no rush to get out. We just got out there and turned on this road, turned on that road, and had a good time doing so. Just down here at the bottom of this hill, we're going to make a left turn, and that is going to put us in the HaHa Tonka State Park area. We'll get to see a little bit of the lake possibly over here on the right. I don't know. It may not show up since I've got a turn right here, but I'll try to turn my camera where you could possibly see it. No, it's not going to let us see it. There's a little tiny spot of it. Anyway, I'm going to go up here, and I think it's roughly a couple miles down the road from here. I got to tell you, I really do like this new camera over my GoPro. Now, I know I didn't have a medium model of the GoPro, but here's the thing. The DJI, it doesn't just shut off on you from overheating. And I've had incidences where this thing shut off, or the GoPro shut off, even in cool temperatures like this. This is cool out. The camera shouldn't overheat or just randomly shut off for no reason. And that's the one thing I like about the DJI. It doesn't do that. thought at one point you could possibly see some water down here on the right. So I'll kind of go slow here a little bit and see if you can. Yes, you can. It might be hard to see, but you can see it back there. There's a little bit of the lake. So if you're coming down here to this park, they have several things you can do. There's hiking trails and all kinds of neat little stuff. I think the last time I was out here, they had the gate closed. But that's been some time back. Now, most of you know that are living out here in this area, this location, that the county or the state, I don't know who, but they chose to put kind of a barricade around the castle itself so that it would hope that it would deter people from going up there and actually messing with the castle. It's got some older decaying rocks and so forth that's, you know, can start to crumble and fall. This over here on my side here, this is the kind of like a little information center to learn a little bit more about the park, visitor center. So if you want to give that a look, you can. Doesn't appear to be open right now, so I didn't pull in there. The sun's at that point in time where it's sending a glare for me looking out. The old Pan America's doing good. I tell you, after the repairs were made, it's running quite smoothly now. All right, so we're gonna go right up here. This will take us up to the castle. Nice little signage there telling you what's going on. And like I said, I think I want to try to fly my drone and possibly get some aerial footage of it. And then we'll walk over to the water tower that is kind of just down the hill and start up the hill from it, that supplied that castle in its day with its water. So I might try to fly the drone around that a little bit as well. And I think I'm going to take my camera with me so you guys can kind of see what I see as we go along. Let's see, what do we got here? Castle, go to the left. All right. This castle says to the straight. All right. If you can see it right up through there, that's the old water source, watershed tower, whatever you want to call it. We'll walk up there after we get back from the castle. When I say downhill and then uphill, that's what I mean. They're both in walking distance. So this will be a kind of a cool little deal. Well, it don't look like I'm going to be fighting for any parking spots. I guess this Missouri cool weather this time of year has deterred some from even considering coming. I'm going to go ahead and park down here where a guy should park. Normally, what I normally do when I'm out is I usually park on that pad right there, because there's always cars here that kind of stop you from parking a bike. But hey, so give me a moment here. I'm going to detach the camera, put it on a selfie stick, and we'll walk up the hill with you. Okay, I got you along back here with me now. So these two structures here that you're seeing, is the old carriage houses. And as you can see, they suffered some burn damage as well. And that's kind of a sad event, but at one time there used to be buildings that people actually lived in. And that's pretty cool. So we're just going to kind of walk this little trail. It's actually a concrete trail up this hill. Let you kind of see what's going on here a little bit. HaHa Tonka State Castle, distance 521 feet, average grade 5%, 9% max. Surface concrete with 8-foot, 6 rest stops along the path. So here we go. Let's go on the adventure. And as you can see, hey, they've cut down a couple trees here. You can definitely see the lake down there. We'll get better views of it as we go along. Any point along this video you want to stop and see these things better that I'm pointing at here, this old sign and whatnot, I got things you can read on them. You can just pause the video there and have a look at that. This is kind of a map so you can find your way around a little bit where you're at and what's going on around that area. One man's dream. Like I said, I'm going to kind of get this to where you can stop and read it. There's a picture of the castle back in its day. Pretty cool. Another aerial photo of it. Get out of the way here. It's an old bedroom. Looks like maybe a dining living room. This might have been the entryway that you would have saw. That's pretty cool. Walk over here. There's a side view of that carriage house again. All right, let's travel on uphill. And by the way, thank you guys again for coming along with me on my craziness and silliness, riding my bike and sharing my moments with you. What an awesome view out here. Look at this. I know these cameras will never do justice to the hillsides that you're seeing here, but they are big. And it's pretty windy today, so I honestly don't know how well my drone is going to do. But once we get up here, and you can start to see the castle kind of right up there as we're coming up on it. I got this nice little deck area. Let's step out here for a moment. Looks like they've replaced some lumber on it recently. That's pretty nice. Heck yeah, that looks real good. As you can see down here, this waterway starts back there, and it pumps a lot of fresh water into here all the time. It's a fresh spring. And it follows along, goes this way, and it also goes along out on there, both meeting back out into the lake over here. I don't know. You might be able to see the castle, see them trees, but we're gonna walk on up there. Okay, we're starting to come up on a little better where you can see it. And as you can see, as I told you earlier, they put a fencing around this thing so that you really wouldn't go any closer. I did a little Googling this morning, and it said that drones were okay to fly. So we're going to kind of check around here for signage and whatnot. As you can see here, don't go beyond this point. This would have been their entryway into the front of the castle, and another entryway here. All right, let's walk back down here. Turn this corner and proceed on. This is why they put the fence up. They didn't want you really getting any closer because the stones are starting to break apart and fall. They don't want anybody hurt, and I understand that. Kind of make you wonder how they got all this rock. Well, out of all this land out here, they started mining the rock out of the ground to build this castle with, to my understanding. And they use these little trolley carts, rail system, I'll show you here, for bringing this stuff here. Now that is pretty old, of course. You can see the railroad rails, railroad wheels. That's a pretty cool little cart. Their mules pull them along. Yep. If you look right down here, there's some trails for hiking, quarry trails, lake trails. So if you're ever out here and want to go for a hike, that's definitely an option for you. All right, we'll proceed on around the corner here. Well, I tell you what, it is definitely breezy out here. So I don't know for sure how well the drone's going to handle this. I don't know that I want to get it up too high. Of course, you know, the higher you go, the crazier it is for being unstable. I don't need a flyaway drone today. Here's another little deck area. This has been here for quite some time. We'll walk out here. You can kind of see the nice little deck. I'll go over here on this side and we'll kind of work my way around where you can see the lake. There's that creek I was telling you about a little bit ago. I was way over there when I did. So as we walk around here a little bit, you can start to see more of the actual lake. Now look at these bluff rocks. I'm telling you, we're a ways up from down there. And somewhere over there on this next hill over, I'm gonna call it a hill, there's an old post office that was part of this area as well. We may swing by that real quick. All right, let's walk on up to the castle. Now, what I'm gonna try to do when I get up this flight of steps, I'm gonna turn my GoPro or my Neo on, my little drone, and I will shut this video off and I will try to go on the footage of the Neo itself, and I'll have it connected to my phone where I can still talk as well. So bear with me a moment while I get up here and start this video with the drone. This is pretty cool, guys. It really is. Anyway, hang with me. Okay, guys, so here's what we're looking at. Now, once I get this thing in takeoff mode, I am going to change the gimbal on it where I can alter it. So hang with me. Let me get her started.
Takeoff. Landing.
We are not landing. For some reason, it wanted to tell me it was going to start landing. So just kind of looking down the side view over here. I'm telling you, it's pretty windy, so I don't know how much footage I'm going to actually be able to get here. I'm going to try to go up a little higher. The wind is really fighting me here. A little bit higher. I'm kind of pushing the limits, I feel like. I'm going to have to come back down a little bit. I got to avoid a tree here on my left. If I come down, then I can avoid it. Alright, let's rotate here. Let's move forward. I want to go just a little bit more here. Maybe I can see inside this window. Like I said, I don't want to get too crazy here because I know that this wind is going to affect me a lot. Alright, I'm going to back it up out of there. Let's turn this way just a little bit. You can see down this corridor right here. That's pretty slick. Let's go a little bit more. I'm going to turn back this way and look in this window. Now you can't see it, but on the left side there was a lot of joists that run down there at one level. Alright, I want to stop that one real quick and walk around to the other side and do the same thing. So bear with me just a moment here.
Landing.
Okay, we've kind of come over to the other side. Now I'm going to go ahead and take off here and try to get up there close again.
Take off.
Alright, so I'm going to look over here on this side. You can see that wall. I'm going to go down a little bit. Let me back up just a little bit. Go down here where you can see that's the opening of that area. Alright, so let's move this way. Oop. I gotta focus on what I'm doing here. This would have been another main entrance where you probably would have pulled a car or horse and buggy or whatever up in there. Alright, so now I'm kind of at a point here where I'm going to have to take us around to a new location here. Oh, going to fly back to me. You can see a little ways away. There I am. Alright, so let's move forward. And I'm going to do the same thing again here as I did a minute ago. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to walk around to the other side over there and try to get that view as well. So hold on one moment here for me, guys. I'm going to land this guy. Okay guys, as you've seen, I just got to fly the drone. I'll give you one good last look at the castle itself. I'm on the non-windy side as long as I don't get in the window sections with the drone, because when I did, man, it really, especially when I got up to the 3rd story up there in the gable peaks, it got extremely windy. So we're going to walk back down here and all the way back down to the bike, and then I will proceed on past the bike and walk up to the watershed. Now, I honestly don't know that I'm going to fly the drone over there. It's pretty grassy, brushy, and if I did get a flyaway situation, I really don't want to lose my drone, because I'm trying to do this within staying on the path and not getting off of that path that they're allowing us on. I don't want to be one of those ones that says, you know what, you did this, you shouldn't have done it. I hope you understand that. So let me get down here to the bike, and then I'll bring it back up again here.